Madam Speaker of the National Assembly of Togo, the Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, Madam Chairperson of the National Commission on Human Rights, members of the Bureau of the National Assembly of Togo, the Chairperson of the Joint Commission, Honorable MPs of ECOWAS Parliament, members of the Joint Commission, distinguished heads of diplomatic mission, distinguished representatives of the agencies of the United Nations, distinguished representative of organization of civil society and the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I wish to welcome you to ECOWAS space here in Togo. Lomé has been chosen for this, which is a choice, is a sign of testimony to the efforts made by Togo in providing conditions for security and well-being both to refugees that have chosen our country as where to stay and those who have suffered from various catastrophes, as it were. The government of Togo, under the leadership of the president, wishes to continue with this initiative in ensuring for all of us all decent conditions of living, so that all those living on land shall make all their efforts in making development possible. Indeed, movement of people as a result of conflict, natural catastrophe are worsening with the consequences and needs arising from this. In the sub-region, in the West African sub-region, crises are responsible for rather complex situation and the movement of our people, such as crisis in Mali, Nigeria, and recently in Burkina Faso, which has as a result, IDPs and refugees, which is of concern to all of us. The question of managing all of these people that are displaced is becoming a very serious problem, since where these displaced people went to are mostly subject to insecurity, and which also affects the life of humanitarian workers. The diversity of those involved in taking care of all this instead of being of help has become a serious problem. That is why managing these people has become a serious problem. The adoption of community standards to manage this organization responsible for health, housing, feeding will be an additional to those available in the member states. These arrangements that will lead to the attainment of the 2020 vision of ECOWAS, in which each citizen will have access to quality materials. Togo, which is hosting this meeting today, is part of this international instrument concerning refugees. Internally, we have made a law on the statute of refugees and also have an institutional framework for the protection and helping IDPs. Outside the National Coalition for Assistance to Refugees, which is for the management of problems of refugees being welcomed by our country, we also have a department for the management of catastrophe responsible for the rehabilitation and reinsertion of victims of national catastrophe, with a reception center for these victims, which is on the outskirts of Lomé, which today has about 248 people who are victims of the last flooding of our capital. On refugees, Togo is receiving today more than 13,000 refugees and 697 requests for asylum. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to express here our profound gratitude to our partners who has helped us to really meet our commitment to these vulnerable groups. I also like to thank the agencies of the United Nations, among which UNHCR, and those that have made necessary initiative for us for the protection of refugees and IDPs. I'd like also to thank these people who have helped us, and my tribute to all these thousands of refugees who are our countries, as well as humanitarian workers who are fighting every day and facing dangers to ensure the minimum of well-being to IDPs and the refugees, particularly in the most difficult areas. To conclude, Mr. Speaker, the Speaker of the National Assembly of Togo, I would like to wish this meeting, délocalised meeting, success in their deliberations.